So you want to learn how to curve the ball. Well, in this episode, I'm gonna give you a step-by-step tutorial on how to hit those bending free kicks. Generally speaking, curling the ball with the inside of your foot is one of the most common and popular shooting techniques in football. As compared to other techniques like knuckleballs, it's relatively easy to learn and very consistent in game situations. But don't get it twisted, it takes a lot of practice, so if you're expecting to miraculously learn this technique overnight without putting in thousands of hours of hard work, this is not the video for you. But for those of you out there prepared to put in the work, stick around and let's start from the beginning.
And you want to start with a proper run up to the ball, which means having a bit of an angle to the ball. Imagine that the camera is the goal. I would probably approach the ball from an angle somewhat like this. People who tend to go for a more straight run up usually go for a knuckleball or just a pure power strike, but that's not what we're working with today. Also, I've seen tons and tons of tutorials where people give you exact steps. Take 5 big steps back, 2 to the side, and you're good to go. Honestly, it doesn't matter how many steps you take back. Once you get into the technique a little bit more, you will find out the distance and the exact angle that works out for you, because the only thing that really matters here is that you have an angle to the ball. This will help you shooting the ball in the right way that will put some curve on the ball. So, which part of your foot should you use to strike the ball? Basically, you want to kick the ball with the instep area right around here. It's basically the area between your toes and the very inside of your foot. Now, a lot of people shoot their curling free kicks or try to shoot their curling free kicks with the inside of your foot that you use for passing, and that will not generate enough power for the ball to go over the wall into the top pins. So when you're about to make your initial contact with the ball, make sure that your ankle is locked and your toes are pointing upwards. You want to point your toes upwards like this to make sure that the ball not only gets a beautiful side spin, but also a little bit of top spin. This will make sure that the ball actually goes over the wall and dips beautifully into the top corner. And you want to strike the ball somewhere around this area, the lower half, slightly on the side, to actually give the ball that curling movement we are looking for. 2 other things worth mentioning. Make sure that the whole movement starts from your hip. Just like this. You want to have some nice momentum when you approach and shoot the ball. Nobody has ever shot a nice free kick just by swinging their leg and having their hip not working together with them. You can see from this is never gonna work out. What you want to do instead is approach the ball from a nice angle and have your entire hip moving and creating some nice momentum. Also, your non-kicking foot, your standing foot, has a very interesting role in this technique. Normally when you pass the ball, let's say the camera is you, I'm trying to pass the ball directly to you. You are used to having your non-kicking foot pointing directly towards your target. But in this case, I'm actually gonna have my standing foot pointing slightly away from my target. Why is that? Because with this technique, we are trying to generate side spin. So I'm actually trying to aim somewhere over there and hope that the curve is gonna kick in and the ball is gonna actually end up directly towards your target. Now, the last piece of the puzzle is the follow through. What happens after the short moment your foot is actually in contact with the ball? And here we basically have 2 schools of thought. We have the people who just let their entire leg swing freely like this, and then we have guys like myself who tend to stop their follow through a little bit quicker. My planting foot actually makes a pretty funny looking movement. It basically drags along the ground and I land back on my kicking foot. Some people shoot their free kicks like this and their planting foot stays in the same spot all the time, but for me the movement is something like this. You can basically go with whatever version you feel comfortable in, but the important thing here is that your entire leg actually continues the movement and it slices across your body to make a circle like this. This will once again help you give the ball some curl, some sideways spin that we are looking for, and it almost happens naturally as you are approaching the ball from the side anyways. Also, it's very important to lean over the ball a little bit. If you are leaning back, the ball will end up going all the way over the goal, which is not something we are looking for.
And that's pretty much it for the basics. Next up, I wanted to give you some extra tips, and my tip number 1 is to practice your free kicks shooting against the wall.
This is a great thing to do because obviously when you kick the ball towards the wall, it will always come back to you. And this is great because you can actually get more repetitions in less amount of time, which is crucial because repetition is everything when you're practicing your free kicks. It's not gonna help you out knowing in your head how to shoot free kicks. No, you need to repeat the same movements thousands after thousands of times. And shooting against the wall is a great tool for that, especially if you only have one ball with you when you're going to the pitch. Another great tip is to analyze how professional footballers are taking their curling free kicks. The internet and YouTube is packed with free kick goals from the world's best footballers. So use all that free information to analyze and see how other people are doing it. Also, the next point might sound a little bit weird, but try filming your own free kicks. And when you get home, analyze the shots that were good and the ones that were bad. Normally, you can spot the difference immediately. Now, onto some common mistakes that a lot of people do when they start practicing their curving free kicks. And the number one thing I see people doing wrong is that they only generate backspin to their shots instead of getting that beautiful side spin to the ball. Backspin is obviously an enemy because it will make the ball float in the air for a long period of time, which is something we don't want. We need the ball to go up over the wall and come back down into the top pins. Now, if you find yourself only generating backspin to the ball, you are probably doing one of these things wrong. Number one, your toes are not pointing upwards and you are shooting the ball too much with your toes like this. You need to have your toes pointing upwards for the ball to have a nice side and topspin as well. Number two, follow through, and especially not following through at all. Trust me, I see so many people following through their free kicks like this. That's not how you follow through when you shoot a free kick. That's how you chip the ball. That will only give you backspin, which once again is an enemy. So make sure you follow through.
So, let's summarize a little bit. Make sure you have enough angle on your run-up. Point your non-kicking foot slightly away from your target and hit the lower half of the ball with your instep. As you hit the ball, make sure your upper body is leaning over the ball, your ankle is locked, and your toes are pointing slightly upwards to give the ball some topspin as well. And finally, follow through by continuing the movement with your leg across your body.
So that's basically it for this curving free kick tutorial. I truly hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and my last piece of advice is for you guys to stay consistent with your training. Trust me when I tell you, the only thing that matters at the end of the day is that you go back to that training ground every single day to work on your shooting technique. It doesn't matter what ball you have, it doesn't matter which football boots you have or don't have, the only thing that matters is that every single day you go to the training ground to get in those 200 free kicks, and you do that year after year. And that's it. I'm gonna cut it right there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you still have some questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section right down below. If you enjoyed this video and wanna see more, make sure you are subscribed to our channel. And before you go, give me a thumbs up in case you had a good time watching this episode. And with those words,